This is a collection of passages on death from the writings of Alice A. Bailey and the Tibetan master Djwhal Khul. The quotations are interwoven with numerous reports of related near-death experiences. In these events, individuals die in the sense that they believe they died and are often declared dead by the medical profession. But their apparent death is not quite final, and they return to tell of their experience. He becomes consciously aware of himself. This involves a clarity of perception unknown to the average man whilst in physical incarnation.
I reached a point where I had this clarity. It was like a state of what I just call a state of clarity, where I understood why I had the cancer. I understood how it was that thoughts and choices I had made through my life had caused me to get sick. And I understood how it was that I had repressed my energy in such a way that my body literally expressed the cancer as an outlet for the energy that I had repressed through my lifetime. And I understood that I was all of us, not just me, but all of us beings are powerful spiritual beings, and our bodies are actually magical. But I had never known that. I had lived a life believing I was disempowered, but we are a lot more powerful than we have ever been led to believe. And all the fear and the pain and everything was gone. And then I became aware, because as I continued to expand, I became aware of other beings around me who were there to help me through this dying process. And I recognized some of them, not all, but I recognized some as being people from this life who had passed on. And there was my dad, who had passed away 10 years prior to this experience. And this happened to me in 2006. And then there was my best friend, who had passed away 2 years prior. And they were there, and they wanted me to know that they had been with me through the cancer journey, and they had been helping me. And I just felt like this love was, this unconditional love was indescribable, because I had spent a lifetime of believing that I needed to prove myself to other people, and I needed to work hard at being worthy and deserving of love and approval. But here I was now, without my body, on the other side, feeling this pure, unconditional love just because I existed. It felt like I didn't need to do anything to win it, or I deserved it just because I existed, and it was always there for me. That was the understanding I felt.
So we have brains that are not functioning well enough to produce consciousness, and yet we have people saying, I was conscious throughout the whole procedure. In fact, I was more clear then than when I'm stuck back here in the brain with all the limitations of the brain on me. How do we know that there's anything to any of this? Well, occasionally people bring back from a near-death experience some verifiable information. And this is the same thing that Sam is trying to do with this AWARE study, trying to put targets that are unexpected in places where people can see when they leave their bodies. And we have lots of anecdotes of people who have done this, who have said, yes, I left my body and I saw Dr. So-and-so kick over the stand, or I saw this or that, and they're accurate. And sometimes they are very surprising things that they report to us, things they couldn't possibly have guessed. We also have people bringing back from a near-death experience information they couldn't have gotten about other things as well. Sometimes they have met and communicated with deceased loved ones who have told them information that they couldn't have gotten in other ways. There are cases of people who have met these deceased loved ones that no one knew had died. And we have many cases documented this where people who talked about seeing deceased relatives included Uncle Joe, who everyone thought was still alive. And you didn't find out until days later that Uncle Joe had died a few minutes before this person had his near-death experience.